Alright, so I've decided to do zine readings. I'm trying to get my zines out there more. I started like an Etsy shop and I have a Facebook page for it, and I've been trying to trade more, sell them. So I thought maybe the next step would be is to do readings from them, post them on YouTube and my Facebook page, and then I don't know, people could share it or whatever they want. So one zine that I'm making right now is called Revolution of My Life, Learning to Eat Okay Again. It's basically well, I started outpatient treatment for my eating disorder in October, and I'm still going. I go about once a week. I see a psychologist, a nutritionist, and a medical doctor. I was diagnosed with eating disorder not otherwise specified. So basically, I decided to write a zine in hopes of using it to help myself feel better and kind of express what I needed to express more than just through professionals and things like that. So I'm going to read the first thing that I wrote in this zine, which is number 1, and then I'll just keep going, maybe do another one tomorrow. So alright, this one's just an introduction about me and the eating disorder, and then assessment part from the appointment, pretty much. Alright, I've been dealing with an eating disorder since I was about 6 years old. I remember growing up and thinking I was fat. I slowly started to restrict food, but I would still eat. However, I wouldn't eat as much as I wanted to. This began an awful war with food. I began to hate food. Although sometimes I found myself binging in the kitchen before anyone saw because I didn't want to look like a fat fuck. I hated when people saw me eat. I always thought they would think I was fat. Eating equals being fat. This war has continued. It continued through middle school and high school. The restrictions stayed, and I felt proud of myself for not eating. It felt amazing not to eat. I weighed 97 pounds in middle school, and when I hit 100 pounds, I felt like shit. My self-hate grew. The restriction got down to barely nothing on days. I worked out in the process, and I bragged to others how little I ate during the day. I got pregnant my senior year of high school, and the restriction stopped for the most part. I hated seeing my stomach grow. It was a painful process. On top of that, being pregnant in high school is a shaming experience, so that didn't help. When I had my daughter, the restriction stopped for the most part. I didn't do it on purpose, but I didn't happen to eat one day. I felt good about myself. I was also in an abusive relationship with her dad for 5.5 years. One day I left him, and I truly felt that was the beginning of a long, fucking, horrifying road that has started to lead me to the other side. This was 5.5 years ago. I'm also sober. I stopped all alcohol and drugs on November 12, 2008. While I hadn't done drugs in years, the alcohol was present, and I decided to stay clean of everything. I go to AA and Al-Anon from time to time, and this has helped a lot. I also have been seeing therapists off and on during these 5.5 years. I've seen them for anxiety, depression, dissociation, addiction, codependency, PTSD. I've done EMDR. I also started to recover from the realization that all the gross, nasty feelings I'd been growing up with certain family members were warranted. I've been sexually abused. So, I was hitting a wall. For the most part, I still hate myself. I'm a perfectionist, and I think I'm fat. The amazing part of me is that I'm a size 6, now I'm a size 4, and a size small shirt, and I still think I'm fat. On some level, I know that that's an okay size or whatever, but I look at myself in the mirror and I see fat. Although I know if I lost more weight, I will still feel the same. It's this fucking ongoing battle in my head all the time. I don't have a normal relationship with food. I don't know when I'm hungry, when I should eat, when I should stop eating, how much. I'll think about food for a long time before I actually eat it, and I'll contemplate in my head about it. I also hate having food in my body. I've made myself thrown up the past 14 years. Off and on. I've also taken laxatives. The laxative use peaked in 2007. I was taking them every day, but it felt so good to get the food out of me, I can't explain. It just felt good. And I still have laxatives, and I haven't taken them in a while. But they're there, and sometimes it's hard not to take them. On my 35th month of being sober, I had my first appointment at the eating disorder clinic an hour from where I live. The appointment was with a medical doctor, and I had to get my weight checked. That was one thing that made me nervous about the appointment. Luckily, it was a blinded weight check. And when they did that, it hit me. Whoa, I'm fucking doing this. The doctor also checked my physical symptoms, and it was relieving to hear that some of my physical symptoms have been related to my eating disorder. I met with a nutritionist who told me a lot of information. Some of it I knew. She said we will probably explore the relationship with me being a vegan and having an eating disorder, which I do believe there is one. She also helped me know how to eat, when to eat, how much, so I was fairly relieved to hear about that. I met with a psychologist and told her some of the things that I've mentioned above. Fuck, I was honest, and it felt good. She said other people felt this way too, and I'm not the only one. It was relief. I'm going back. I had blood work done in the town I live, and they're sending it to the other clinic. I want to get better, so I will stop hating myself, and I want a healthy relationship with food. I have to track my food intake, which has brought a lot up. I have to write down my emotions that I experience when I'm doing it, and much of the time I'm pissed off that I'm hungry, or annoyed. It has been rather intense and kind of sad to realize. Sometimes when I eat something, I will have had the thought about it for days before I decide to eat it. It's so fucking frustrating. So this is a step toward a new way of life. It's a revolution of my life, my existence, core beliefs, and behaviors. I need to write through it, as I know it will help me work through some of this shit. I may grieve the loss of my eating disorder just as I did with alcohol, but I know on the other side my life will feel so much better. So that's my first reading. I think I'll do each story or each thing that I wrote one at a time. And just keep posting stuff on YouTube and on my Facebook page. If you want to contact me, you can just find me on YouTube and just send me a message on there or whatever. So, thank you for watching.